the most advanced networks in Africa. Based in Mogadishu, Hormuz Telecom alone grosses more than $40 million a year.
Many countries complain about getting a national telecom system and privatizing portions of it. We have the opposite problem. It's been more than private, and it's been private with absolutely no strings attached, no guidelines, no regulations, no taxes, no nothing. And so we want to, now they are having difficulty operating, they're having difficulty securing investment, they're having difficulty setting standards so that people can predict what to expect of them. So now they want us to put some regulations in place and to put some limits and to create an interconnection and so on.
The Ministry of Information has funded the production of Dalka, a national newspaper available to readers across the country. The weekly title will also soon be available in the UK, the USA, Kenya and Dubai, a key tool for the government in reaching the diaspora.
We have educational articles on health, on culture, on religion, on current world news, local news. People have received it very well. So we're excited about it, and we're able to use it as part of the tools available to us to educate people about the importance of nationhood, the importance of the responsibility that every one of us have for peace, for reconciliation.
A national TV network is about to launch across the whole of Somalia. To start, it'll broadcast current affairs programs, and is another way for the government to reach out, inform and educate the nation.
dhibaatada ummadana ay ku jirto iyo dawlad la'aanta muddada badan ay ku jireen iyo jabhadayntii iyo dhibaatadii jirtay waxaan anigu aaminsanahay dadka dareenkiisa iyo caqligiisa in wax laga bedelo inay u baahan tahay.
Anoo gabar aad u da'yar oo 18 jir ah haddii aan macnaheedu ka fikiro mustaqbalka Soomaaliya waxay la tahay inuu aad uga sii wanaagsanaan doono sidaan maqlay ama sida ii muuqata iminkaba sababtoo ah dadka inta badan hadda aad ay u soo jilceen oo way ka soo horjeedaan qolada diidan dawladda iyo nabadda iyo waliba dhaqanka soo banay Soomaalida ee shabaabka haddii ay ka mamnuuceen hadda Al-Shabaab anaga gambashaan uga jirnaa marka aad ugu faraxsanahay Al-Shabaab anoo uga gambaneen inaan TV ka soo muuqdo
mid aad u ifaya aad u qurux badan sababtana waxay tahay mushkiladda muddo badan aan ku jirnay laakiin hadda dadku soo bislaanayaan dad badan oo mushkiladda marka hore horin jiray ayaa hadda nabad u taagan sidoo kale dawlad hogaamiye kooxeedyadii iyo wixii dadkaasi jiray inay ku jireen oo dad aqoon-yahano ah oo dhibaatada Soomaaliya ka dhacda aan ka qayb qaadanin ay hogaaminayaan way joogtaa marka mustaqbalka waxaan rajada fiican u qabnaa kamid tahay.
A national newspaper, a radio station and a TV network are powerful tools for the TFG as they encourage freedom of the press and expression from within the population of Somalia. Unlike the hardline approach of foreign-led terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab, the government seek to reconnect people. They welcome dialogue and help facilitate debate and discussion to flourish amongst the Somali population. Billions of dollars of international aid has been pledged to Somalia, which is much needed to help combat disease, displacement and to rebuild the country.
In terms of food aid delivery, in terms of medical facilities and materials delivery, we have cooperated with the international agencies, whether it's UNDP, World Food Programme, UNHCR, but equally we have cooperated with agencies from the Islamic world who have already gained access directly into the areas that are under Al-Shabaab.
Developing disasters like the drought increase demands for those funds already pledged and mean more aid is now desperately required.
If we don't receive any help from the international community, definitely you will see close to 2.5 million people will definitely starve very soon. To prevent that, we contacted WFP and we call all donors to help this humanitarian crisis. If we don't get rain within the next 2 or 3 months, definitely you will see a lot of death and starvation.
Despite financial assistance from the international community, very few aid agencies and NGOs actively operate in Mogadishu.
There is a great deal that is done by the international community. But when you look at the needs in Somalia, when you look at the problems we face and the enemy we fight, it is, most people would agree, it's no different than what you're dealing with when you're in Iraq, when you're in Afghanistan or Pakistan. We know that the international community has invested many billions of dollars in these areas to address this problem. In Somalia, you know, the United Nations may spend every year hundreds of millions of dollars on or around Somalia. But the fact remains that very little of that money reaches to support programs and projects with the Somali government. You know, there's a great deal of, let me put it this way, overhead cost in Nairobi and other places. And maybe that is necessary for some, but to be serious in dealing with this problem, we need to address it seriously and put the necessary resources or funding for projects or expertise so that this problem is solved once and for all.
Despite the political and social challenges in Somalia, many industries, especially in the private sector, are booming. The airport in Mogadishu receives commercial flights daily from international and domestic destinations. The seaport in Mogadishu is now also fully secure and functional. And November 2010 generated $2.6 million in revenue for the government. The airport has also seen a 400% increase in tax revenue.
waxa hadda shaqeeya waa qaybtii ganacsiga gaarka loo leeyahay haddii aan leed warshado iyo haddii aan leed ganacsigii kaloo guudba marka saa daraaddeed wasaaradda waxa waaye waxay qorshaysay in ay xoojiso private sector-ka ama ganacsiga gaarka loo leeyahay waddankan waa waddan dihan oo khayraadkiisana uu dihan yahay lehna muxuu ahaa khayraad badan oo dabiici ah oo dadka adduunyada wada lahayn adduunyada ma laha xeebta ugu dheerayso waxaan leenahay ee Afrika adduunyada ma wada haysta xeebtaas waxaan leenahay xoolaha ugu badan khaasatan geela dhulkeena waa dhul aan xataa fertilizer kaaga baahnayn oo dhul beereed badan waxaan leenahay wabiyo intaan isku haysan cid isku haysata ma laha marka annagaana la baryi doonaa hadda waxaan leenahay laakiin ciddii rabta danaynaysa.
The pirate trade operating off the coast of Somalia is an example of what can happen to a nation without an effective rule of law. But this too is being addressed by this government, whose remit is spread far and wide.
waxaan magacawnay gudoomiyihii maxkamadda sare waxaan kulamo la sameynay ila tashi garsoorayaalkii horey u joogay iyo ururka garyaqaanada Soomaaliyeed talooyin badan ka dhiibtay sidii loo hagaajin lahaa garsoorka waxaa kaloo jira rabaa inaan ku kabo wasaaraddu waxay samaysay inay dabagal ku sameeyso burcadbadeed badan ee Soomaaliyeed oo ku xirnayd adduunyada gaar ahaan waxaan booqasho ku tagnay dawladda Seychelles halkaasaan ku soo aragnay jasiiradda Seychelles waxaan heshiis kula soo galnay in burcadbadeedaas ay si wanaagsan u xanaaneeyaan annagana aan u howlgalno in xabsiyadii la hagaajiyo dalkana dib loogu soo celiyo heshiiskaasna waa soo kala saxiixnay qoraal waxaan u sameynay UNODC oo aan ka codsanay inay samayso meel lagu sameeyo muxuu ahaa dhaqan celin ururka Al-Shabaab wixii laga soo qabtay wixii ka soo gala inta badan hadda ayaga isa soo dhiibaano meeshii wax badan ka qoostay marka waxaan diyaarinaynaa meel lagu dhaqan celiyo ay wax ku bartaan oo ay oga nastaan dagaaladii iyo mashaakilkooda waana ku hol jirnaa insha Allah waxaan isleenahay horta dalkan wuxuu burbursanaa 20 sano uusan garsoorka jirin waxaan ku dadaali doonaa ilaa bisha soo socota si dhaqsi ah inay u howlgalaan maxkamadihii oo dhan ayadoo hadda aan helnay gaadiid iyo wax lagu shaqeeyo inta yaranoo dhiman waxaan isleenahay dhowrka maalmood oo soo socdo inaan ay dhamaadaan aan ku tala jirnaa insha Allah.
As this new cabinet moves past its first 100 days in office, it is clear that significant gains have been made. Change is happening across Mogadishu and the wider Somalia, and this change is being seen by the people on the ground. The Somali government ministers are well educated and competent. They are leading the way, and the people of Somalia are now beginning to follow. This new cabinet is seen as a government that can lead, one that delivers on its promises, and one that can achieve lasting change. Yet one that is also a government that needs support. Support not only from the people of Somalia and the international community, but also support from other areas, from other people.
Many in the diaspora have always wanted to find ways to help. We used to discuss this. Many people still discuss. One should not forget that the largest source of income for this country remains the remittances from the diaspora.
The diaspora contributes $1.6 billion a year to the families and communities here financially. But more important than the money is the skills, the experience, and the knowledge of the diaspora, which is what we need to rebuild the institutions of the state.
I am certain that with a little more stability, many people would come back and settle down and start businesses. And we see that in the more stable areas of the country, in Somaliland, in Puntland, in other regions.
We need all those citizens of our nation to come back and help their country together. I think we already see members of the diaspora in businesses, in other industries, in government, and the more that come back, the better for the country.
Each generation is given a dilemma to resolve. Whether it is the generation of the Second World War and Churchill in the UK, or whether it is Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln at their time, each generation has a task to fulfill. Human problems will never end. This is our time, this is our place, this is our task. We don't hesitate to take up the challenge, to do what we can, but most of all, our dependence is to mobilize and motivate the people of Somalia, because only they, in the end, can rebuild their country.